What is going on, people of YouTube? My name is Kurtyoy and welcome to Game Week 10 preview. We've hit double figures. That means we are about a quarter of a way through season. How are your guys' teams doing? Hopefully they can be improved by this episode of preview. If you don't know what preview is about, this is your first time watching, then thank you for clicking on this video. Basically, I go over the potential best players to bring in, looking at the games to come in this game week, which is game week 10 if I haven't said already. And one quick thing to mention, if you've got any questions you would ask a manager going into a press conference for the first time, so because I'm picture myself as a manager going into a press conference for the first time, what questions would you ask? I'm compiling them into a video and be answering them in the form of a manager ready for Football Manager 2016 and hopefully a prosperous season of Football Manager content. I don't know if there's any other way of explaining it, but basically, let's look into the team. Basically, I've got 3 players from goalkeepers, from defenders, from midfielders, and from strikers that I all think should be brought in this game week. And we're going to start off with a goalkeeper by the name of Hugo Lloris, if you want to be very posh about it. Hugo Lloris has been in fine form this season, the great goalkeeper that he is. Spurs kept a lot of clean sheets as well. In fact, you look at their last few games, they've got 4 this clean sheet, which is actually quite high for this season. Not many teams have done that, including the 0-0 draw last weekend. And considering the team they're playing this weekend, you know, is at home to Bournemouth, although they did score against City, I think Spurs can be a lot more solid than that, and they can do very well. Bearing in mind, Spurs beat City 4-1. The same City that was called, you know, title contenders and challengers when they beat Bournemouth 5-1. Just going to put that out there. But Hugo Lloris is our first one. Next up, we've got, we've got the Stoke goalkeeper. And his name is Jack Butland. He's making a lot of saves this season. Total save count is now 39 after grabbing another 2 against Swansea in their 1-0 win. And for me, looking at the fact Stoke have got Watford to play, I feel like that could be another clean sheet, maybe another few saves. He'll make saves. The good thing about Jack Butland is if he isn't getting clean sheets, he'll be there to make the saves. He's a big goalkeeper, he's a shot stopper, and that's what I like about him. Probably, in my eyes, the person to replace Joe Hart. And lastly, looking down at my list, we have a West Brom goalkeeper. Now, I did say, you know, about don't rush into bringing Myhill in, because I feel that even though he is in fine form this season, Foster will come back into the first team when they've got a chance. But Myhill is in fine form. I say, looking at saves, he's made 31. However, you look at the amount of clean sheets he's got 5. That's one more than the Spurs of Hampton. If you know what I'm saying. No, Spurs of Hampton? It's the same thing, Spurs. And but he's been in fine form. He's picked up a lot of bonus points, or 8 so far this season. Definitely one to consider, bearing in mind they're away against Norwich. I think it could be a decent chance of getting a clean sheet there as well. So move on to the defenders, and where else to start? Then this is going big here. Someone that's in my team is the centre back by the name of Vincent Kompany. Now, he wasn't brought on off the bench against Bournemouth. I think that will change come this weekend. He's got a fantastic record against United. Although I think United will win it, I'm going with my gut, same way as I won about 30 odd quid on Arsenal winning against Barcelona, the only real time I've celebrated an Arsenal win in my life. Don't really like Arsenal, to be honest. But Vincent Kompany has a fantastic record against Manchester United, plays well, gets clean sheets, gets goals, big in the air, you know, and Vincent Kompany is definitely one to consider. Next up, we've got a strange choice. I'll go with the second choice I've got. I'm going to leave actually the player I've got in the middle in this picture to last. We've got another Spurs player, and this one is Toby A, Mr. Toby Alderweireld. It's a choice between Alderweireld or Vertonghen, and for me, Alderweireld takes it for the simple fact he scored a goal. Alternatively, you could go with Eric Dier, because he is playing in the midfield as a defender. He also scored against City, however, also against Stoke apparently. However, he did get dropped for the Liverpool game. Will he get dropped again? I'm not sure. But Toby Alderweireld, I think, is a definite starter. So that's why I went with him also. And lastly, this is going to be shocking, I know, but I'm going to tip a big week for the 12 points of Daryl Janmaat. Now, before you come, you know, barraging, like, what on earth are you thinking? Have you lost your mind? Have you gone doolally? There's reason behind this. Daryl Janmaat has got a goal and assist this season. Newcastle kept a clean sheet against United, and that's it. that's it, and they could have gone on to nick that, actually, saying that. But they're playing this weekend in the derby away against Sunderland. I think this is a huge game for both clubs. If Sunderland lose again, they could be in trouble for the season. Newcastle could get lifted out of the relegation zone. Who would have seen that coming a few weeks ago? But for me, I think, I was going to put Mitrovic in the strikers, but I feel like that's not a good choice. Wijnaldum again, but I feel like I'd be jumping on the bandwagon of, he scored 4 goals, going to be fantastic. That's pretty much an obvious choice. A lot of people are bringing in Daryl Janmark for the simple reason he's great going forward, and if there's going to be any goals, they'll be through him, in my eyes. Taking a risk. Now, let's go on to the midfielders. And first up midfielder is someone that is in fine form, a fantastic player, fantastic coup for the club, is Dimitri Payet. Now, he is the top scoring BPL player out of anything. We're looking at, all players here. No one tops him. Closest is Mahrez 64, Sanchez 63, and Vardy 65. So no one is near him at all. But he is a fantastic player. He's played fantastic this season. You look at his last 5 games: 16, 5, 8, 10, and 7. When you look at the fact they're playing Chelsea, if they are going to get a goal, I think it'll be through him. And moving on to the second midfielder is a strange one. I did say this is a player that was in there. In the close to taking over Payet, but for me it's Riyad Mahrez, who's been on the sidelines, didn't feature at all against Norwich in their win, and came on at half time. There were 2 away games where I think they could grind out results. They're playing at home now against Crystal Palace. Now, although Palace have been good at the back, I feel like it's definitely a time for Mahrez to start and set the place alight, because I feel like what I've seen from the comments, what he was trying to do, and Ranieri, the Tinkerman, was 2 away games, 2 winnable away games, play a more sturdy midfield, because you got Mahrez. I think as Fuchs came in, I'll have a look at that quickly. I think Christoph Fuchs came in for him, so much more sturdy style, I suppose you could say. But he is definitely one to consider. And lastly, get through this quickly, Andre Ayew. Swansea are playing Aston Villa away from home. There's no early kickoff this weekend. That's really weird. But I feel like if they're going to get any goals, it could be through Ayew. And now the strikers. Actually, we may as well stay on Swansea because, oops, didn't mean that. We've got 3 rather beastly strikers. First up, we've got Babatunde Gomez. Simple fact, he's a goal scorer. Hasn't really had a good run of form since he scored the 4 goals at the start. Can he continue it, or can he re-continue it? This game most certainly can make it 5 goals and 10. Not a bad return. And we're looking at a Man City striker. Again, I don't know who's going to turn up from Man United. It's so varied. They've got goals and assists coming from everywhere. You don't know who it's going to come from. But I feel like maybe, I don't know whether what I heard was right, but I'm pretty sure the only reason Blind didn't play was because of a slight injury niggle. So if he's fit, I feel like they could be putting him in centre-back. And if they do, Bonnie will be licking his lips and thinking, well, I know who I'm going to be running against this game. He'll be running against Blind, and if that is the case, he could get him in. If not, still get him in, because he's going to be playing at the focal point of the team. So definitely a chance for you to get some points. And lastly, who else? Guess Jamie Vardy. Wrong team. Probably end up there anyway. Jamie Vardy, 65 points this season. Fantastic return for last game. I did mention Payet. You stretch back, the only game he didn't perform against is Payet's team. Every other game he's either got a goal or assist. You look at his last, 5 games. A goal, 2 goals, 1 goal, 2 goals. The only thing missing is clean sheets. And get clean sheets. Leicester are a force to be reckoned with, and I feel like definitely get him in your teams. But thank you guys for watching nevertheless. If you like this video, then leave a like, leave anything in the comments down below, and subscribe if you feel like I'm worthy. Again, let me know your questions you would ask if you were at a press conference and you were working as a part of the press. Your questions towards a new manager, as I'll be answering them to sort of start off my single player Football Manager series, which is coming up when the beta is released. But thank you guys for watching nevertheless, and peace.